Welcome back. All right, so no further trades were made. And of course, everybody's like, where's Seattle's trades? We were promised trades. We need more trades from Seattle. Just that. Do people go into movie theaters now and 15 minutes go, I don't understand why they haven't finished this yet. This is ridiculous. I'm out of here. Just feels like people just don't have any patience now. You gotta have patience. We've still got, how many days? 82 days left in the off season. That's it, 82 days. I know that sounds like a lot to people, but as a YouTuber that kind of has to plan out the off seasons and how many days do I have to fill with videos before next season, and normally it's like a lot more than what we've got. 82 days isn't that bad. So the Oilers making news today in that they're not giving qualifying offers to Dominic Kahun or Jujhar Khaira. I would think both of them are going to be able to find jobs elsewhere in the NHL. I'd be kind of surprised if they don't. Kahun didn't have a fantastic year with Edmonton. Neither did Khaira. I would not be surprised to see Jujhar Khaira end up with the Canucks on some level. So we'll see. But that's the news out of Edmonton. We will hear about other players not getting qualifying offers. So again, that's restricted free agents. You can go ahead and tender them an offer to make sure that you keep the rights to them. Or you can say, nope, we're not going to tender him any offer. He's going to leave as an unrestricted free agent. He's not in our future plans. And that's what they're doing with Kahun and with Khaira. So Oilers shedding some more depth. And to me, that says Ken Holland's got to have some other plan here. And we'll see what that plan is. I would think on July 28th, we'll start to see what that looks like. Jonathan Toews, his status for next season is unknown. And of course, for Chicago, they're still navigating the ongoing scandal that's still unfolding. There was some news with that today. I'm not avoiding reporting on it. It just feels like it's still progressing. We're just getting more details to it. And it's going to be interesting to see how the National Hockey League deals with that, how long this takes. It is a court case, so we'll see how long that takes and then what happens afterwards. So, Toews, his status for next season is unknown. But again, there's a lot right now with Chicago. I've definitely been reposting things on Twitter that I've seen. So, again, we'll see where that story goes too. For Tampa Bay, now normally if Jamel Smith's signing a two-way deal, a 1-year two-way deal, I would look at that and go, well, that's not really major news, right? But in Tampa's case, because they have the cap problems they do, a guy like Jamel Smith, who normally would be, an extra forward, maybe being sent to the AHL, he may very well find himself on the fourth line more than one might expect if Tampa Bay needs to cut salary and have guys in that bottom six that are making league minimum. So Smith might get a chance to prove himself a little more this year. And I remember seeing him a couple of times. I saw him the one time live. I've seen him, on TV a few times here and there. I like his game. I do. He has some good energy, and I still think that with the right direction, I think he could be a solid fourth liner in the NHL. I'm not going crazy and saying, there's all kinds of upside there, but I think he could be solid option for Tampa as they look to trim their salary and bring in players that are going to replace the exiting ones and try not to fall back too much. But they've shed their whole third line, so it's Gord, Barclay Goodrow, and Blake Coleman. So that's out. So they're going to have cheap replacements for them. Doug Armstrong raised some eyebrows today in saying he may hold on to Vlad Tarasenko. So Vladimir Tarasenko wanted a trade out of St. Louis, right? Still does. We haven't heard him say that he doesn't want out of St. Louis. But here's the problem. There's no market. Or St. Louis doesn't like the market. One thing about these highly priced players, we saw this with Gostisbehere, we saw this with Ladd, guys who are on expensive contracts right now, there's a negative market value for them. GMs are adverse to bringing in a guy who's making big money and, messing with their internal salary cap structure. So in the case of Tarasenko, you might have a market for him in regular years. This is not a regular year. It's a flat cap, and teams with internal salary caps are going to look at Tarasenko's $7.5 million cap hit, and they're going to say no. He had 4 goals last year. We know who he is. We know what he can do. But we can't just guess he's going to bounce back. Can you guys retain half that money? And for St. Louis, if you're retaining a bunch of money on Tarasenko, maybe your thought process is we might as well keep him. So if St. Louis has Tarasenko in their lineup to start the season, it might be the best plan for Doug Armstrong. Get him out there on the ice, have him get off to a fast start, and then you're going to have more of a market for him. Because I think it's the combination of the highly priced contract combined with the fact that he didn't produce very much last year. So there are going to be offers, but it doesn't mean they're great offers. That's the thing when you hear, a lot of teams are calling, they may all be giving low offers because they don't want to end up with a $7.5 million contract for somebody who's not producing on their roster. That's almost 10% of your salary cap right there, right? $81.5 million salary cap. Now, on Seattle news, and this is what would have been Tampa news a couple days ago, but here we are, Yanni Gourde. It's unlikely he will make his season debut on time. Whether that's in a Seattle jersey or whether that's in a jersey for a different team, we'll see. But shoulder surgery is causing it to be a situation where he probably doesn't start the season on time. He's probably going to be in the lineup after the season starts. We'll see whether or not Seattle holds on to him. He was not, and I understand, the logistics, but to me, the guys that weren't necessarily in Seattle jerseys yesterday are the ones that I'm keeping my eye on, saying they could end up getting moved. And Gourde might be a guy that Seattle looks at and goes, you know what, if we can see what the market is. But we'll see, right? Ron Francis has played his cards pretty close to the vest, and so I would expect him to do that with Gourde as well. If he holds on to him, it's fine. The cap hit won't hurt Seattle, a team that has a lot of cap space. It's a lot. The schedule was released today. I'm going to go over it a little more in detail. I likely will do a video more in detail tomorrow. Got caught up today. I was watching the season finale of The Flash, trying to make sense of that. I'll probably do a video about that on the Entertainment Guy. And then, doing the treadmill as well and catching up on other TV shows and news from other TV shows. So, yeah, I'll do a video on the schedule tomorrow in all likelihood. The schedule, the season is to start October 12th, which is 82 days from now. So that's not bad. Again, just from a YouTuber that's like, what do I do during the summer? So I may not need playlists very much. I have the playoff history playlist I've been doing. Of course, I'm going to talk about prospects during the summer after they've been drafted because I've got all these notes now on draft picks. And so I'll be doing that after the draft and maybe doing videos on each team's draft picks and go through, each team's draft picks and what they look like and which teams probably did well and vice versa. But so the schedule starts October 12th, double header on ESPN, Pittsburgh at Tampa, and then Seattle at Vegas. So Vegas's opening night opponent is Seattle. And I think that's great. Seattle's first home game is going to be against Vancouver. So that works out pretty well. Vancouver starting with a 6-game road trip to start the season. December 7th, Tampa Bay will be in Montreal. That will be the first meeting between the Stanley Cup finalists who are now in the same division. So Tampa Bay wins last year, right, against Dallas. This year they were in the same division as Dallas. Now this year they went in the final against Montreal. And now next season they're in the same division as the team they beat in the final. So that's bizarre. That's something that we will never see again. It's never going to happen again. So it'll be entertaining to see how that all works out. There's a backup schedule ready just in case the NHL doesn't go to the Olympics. And they made it clear in the announcement as well. And there's various reasons they may not go, which go beyond the NHLPA making a deal with the IOC is one thing. But if they feel like it's not a safe environment, if they feel like there's COVID reasons not to go over there, that numbers are in the wrong direction in one area or another, they're ready to say no. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, at this point, there's that break. February 4th and 5th is All-Star Weekend, and then from February 7th through the 22nd is the Olympic break. So that means that we have a good 3 weeks off from hockey. But it made me wonder, too, like, okay, so you've got the All-Star Weekend and then you have the Olympic break. How casual is the All-Star game going to be this year? These guys don't have to worry about going back and playing hockey in the NHL right after, or might they be more tense because a lot of the guys who are going to be the All-Star game are going to be in the Olympics, or here's a third option, how many players who were named to the All-Star Weekend might say, you know what, I don't mind the idea of maybe getting suspended for the one game for skipping the All-Star break, because I want to rest up for the Olympics. So I'm going to skip the All-Star Weekend, rest myself up, and then go to the Olympics. So we'll see what happens, but there's always those players that skip the All-Star game and don't care about being suspended. I always think of that Homer Simpson. Boss says if you don't come in tomorrow, you're not coming in on Monday. Woohoo, 4-day weekend. So, don't bother coming in Monday. Anyways, January 1st, we get the Winter Classic. That's St. Louis at Minnesota. And then the Stadium Series is on February 26th. This Tampa Bay at Nashville. So Carolina's Stadium Series game gets pushed back till 2023. And Nashville gets it this year. It's against Tampa. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the stadium jerseys for Tampa and Nashville. Because they're supposed to be like, your stadium jerseys are supposed to be kind of experimental looking and futuristic and that kind of thing. It's something different. I'll be interested to see what Tampa does and what Nashville does there. I would really like to see Nashville do something, and please do a blue jersey. I would really like to see another blue jersey for Nashville, please. Thank you. And St. Louis and Minnesota, that Winter Classic, there's already rumors of St. Louis basically wearing the 1967 jersey they've been using as the third jersey. The Winter Classic blue one, and just doing that in white. And for Minnesota, I'm thinking, so a green North Stars themed jersey with the Wild logo on the front. A lot like the reverse retro this year, just a green version. So I would think Minnesota North Stars would be the way to go. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff to look at on the schedule this year. And then, final news of the day. John Tavares looks good to play in the season opener, according to Kyle Dubas, which is good news if you're a Toronto fan. Looks like he's going to be just fine to play in the season opener. And it will be interesting to see which players are or are not ready to go right away during at the start of the season, and what teams will make which moves in order to mitigate those potential problems. But remember, there will be trades going on tomorrow as well. We have the draft tomorrow, so there will be the live stream again on the channel for that. I'm anticipating there'll probably be more people in the live stream for the draft than for Seattle, and it was ridiculous how many we had for Seattle. And the numbers apparently for Seattle's expansion draft last night were through the roof. Apparently the NHL is very impressed with the ratings they got for that. The networks are just, over the moon about the ratings they got for that. So I know there was a lot of complaining about all those leaks yesterday, and I was going to kill the program. It didn't. I'm not saying there weren't people that said, you know what, I already know who's being picked, so I don't really care, and they didn't watch. But apparently it wasn't in great numbers, and there were a lot of people that tuned in anyways. So things are definitely looking up in this offseason if you're looking at NHL ratings, if that's at all interesting to you. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding these items on the board, regarding whether or not the Oilers should just make this reverse retro their regular road jersey, right? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.